طنا هبلي كبراتن سايبر باور اوف تግራይ ሚዲያ እዚ سايبر باور اوف تግራይ ሚዲያ كل ግዜ ኣብዚ ሰዓት እዚ ፍላይ ድማ ሶኒ ብእንግሊዝኛ ነቕርቦ ፕሮግራም መጀመርያ ብትግርኛ ብእንግሊዝኛ እውን ዳሓወስና ነቀራርቦ ጉዳይ እዩ ከም ትፈልጥዎም ኣብዚ ኣብ ዳያስፖራ ብዙሓት መንእሰያት እንግሊዝኛ ተዛረቡ ተለው ዞም እንግሊዝኛ ዝዛረቡ ዳያስፖራ ናብ ሚድያ ክንደፋፍኦም ናብ ሚድያ መፅኦም ናይ እንግሊዝኛ ፕሮግራምና ጆይን ክገብሩና ብዙሕ ስራሕቲ ክሰርሑ ምሳና ስለንደሊ እዚ ናይ እንግሊዝኛ ፕሮግራም ክትባራታዕ ክተባባዕ እውን ንገብር ኢና ማለት እዩ ካሊ ሰለስተ ኣርባዕተ መዓልቲ ኣብ ሰሙን ብሳተላይት ዝመሓላለፍ ናይ ምስ ትግራይ ሚድያ ሃውስ ብምዝርራብ ጀሚርና ስለ ዘለና እዚ ክትከታተልዎ ኣብ ትግራይ እውን ብፍላይ ድማ ሕዚ ሓድሽ ከም ሓደሽቲ ወይም ድማ ብሳተላይት ንረአ ዘለና ሚድያ ኮይና ኣለና سايبر باور اوف تግራይ ሚድያ ዝሓለፉ ክልተ ሰለስተ ዓመታት ኣብዚ ናይ ጀኖሳይድ ወይ ድማ ናይ ዘርኢ ምጽናት ኩነታት ካብ ዝጅመር ጀሚሩ ኣብ ፌስቡክ ኣብ ዩቲዩብ ኣብ ትዊተር ሕዚ ድማ ኣብ ሳተላይት ኮይና ንቀለስ ዘለና ሚድያ ኢና እዚ ሚድያ እዚ ብዙሓት ፕሮግራማት ኣለዎ ሰብካ ንሰብካ ዘይዛረቃን ዛ ትግራይ ዛንታና ናይ ዜና ናይ ዝተፈላለዩ ጋሻታት እንዳምጻኻ ብዛዕባ ታሪክን ሃይማኖትን ማሕበራዊ ኩነታትን እንዛተየሉ ሚድያ እሞ እዚ ሚድያ እዚ ከዓቢ ክጽብቕ ሼር ሳብስክራይብ ምግባር ከይትሰንፉታ ንብል ካሊ ሳይበር ፓወር ኦፍ ትግራይ ሚድያ ከም ትፈልጥዎ ብሕታዊ ፍላይ ድማ ኣብዚ ኣብ ዳያስፖራ ዘለዋ ሚድያታት ይሁኑ ዋላ ኣብ ትግራይ ዘሎ ብሕታዊ ኢንዲፔንደንት ወይም ድማ ጽግዕተኛ ዘይኮነ መሊኡን ህልም ዝበለ ናይ ተቋዋሚ ይኮነን ህልም ዝበለ ደጋፊ ናይቲ መንግስቲ እውን ኣይኮነን ሳይበር ፓወር ኦፍ ትግራይ ሚድያ ተመዛዘነ ተመጣጠነ ሓሳብ ዘቕርብ ንህዝቢ ትግራይ ዝጠቕሙ ሓሳባት ስኢልካ ነንባዕልና ንባእሰሉ ዘይኮነስ ነንባዕልና ሓድነትና ነጠናኽረሉ መንገዲ ከመይ ጌርና ንቕፅል ዝርኢ ሚድያ እዩ ከምዚ ዓይነት ሚድያ ኩሉ ግዜ ከም ትፈልጥዎ መብዛሕትኡ ግዜ ተቋሙ እውን ኣይፈትዎን ኣብ መንግስቲ ዘሎ ናይ ህወሓት ኣባል እውን ዘይክፈትዎ ይኽእል እዩ ምክንያቱም ንሕና ንህወሓት እውን ክሪቲሳይዝ ንገብር ነቶም ተቋምቲ እውን ንነቅፍ ጽቡቕ ናይ ህወሓት እውን ነምፅእ ንገልጽ ጽቡቕ ነገር ናይቶም ተቋምቲ እውን ንገልጽ ጥራሕ ዘይኮንስ ኢንዲቪጁዋልስ ቴክኖክራትስ ይኹኑ ካልኦት እውን ኣገደሲ ዝበሃል ናይ ኣማራፂ ሓሳብ ዘለዎም ተጋሩ እንዳምፃና ነተባብዕ ሚድያ ኢና እሞ ምናልባት ዝልምድ እዚ ስለ ዘይነበረ ኣብ ትግራይ እውን ከምዚ ዓይነት ናይ ሚድያ ኩነታት ስለ ዘይነበረ መብዛሕትአን ሚድያታት ትሪእዎን ሕዚ ልጣፊየን ዝኾና ገሊአን መሊአን በቃ ህልም ዝበላ ተቋምቲ ይኾና ገሊአን ድማ ህልም ዝበላ ኮፒ ናይ ድምፂ ወያነ ወይ ቴሌቪዥን ትግራይ ኮይነን ኮፊየን ዝብላ ወይም ድማ ናይ ኢትዮጵያ ቴሌቪዥን ኮይነን ኮፍ ዝብላ ዘድልዮን ሕብረተሰብ ግን ኣናላይዝ ዝገብር ንኩሎም ዘካፍል ኢንክሉሲቭ ዝኾነ ንኩሉ ሰብ ዘሳትፍ ሚድያ ስለ ዝኾነ ሳይበር ፓወር ኦፍ ትግራይ ሚድያ ብሕታዊ ዝኾነ ነፃ ንኩሉ ዘቀራርብ ሚድያ እዩ እሞ ተቋምቲ ይኹኑ ደገፍቲ ናይ መንግስቲ ይኹኑ ካልኦት ኒውትራል ዝኾንኩም ናይ ባዕልኹም ፍልጠትን ክእለትን ዘለኩም ግለሰባት እውን ናብዚ ናብ ሳይበር ፓወር ኦፍ ትግራይ ሚድያ እንዳመጻኹም ሓሳብኩም ክትገልጹ ብሳና ክትዛተዩ ዝመድረኽ እዚ ክፉት እዩ ኤኒታይም ክትመፁና ትኽእሉ ኢኹም ኣብ ቀረባ ግዜ እውን ብዙሓት ፕሮግራማት ብዙሓት ሰባት እንዳምፃና ንዛተየሉ ኩነታት ክህሉ እዩ ተኸታተሉና ሳይበር ፓወር ኦፍ ትግራይ ሚድያ ናትኩም ይኹን ንብል ካሊእ ኣብዚ ሰሙን እዚ ብጣዕሚ ኣገዳሲ ዝኾነ ኣጀንዳ ተላዒሉ ዘሎ ብዛዕባ ኢንተሪም ጎቨርንመንት ወይም ድማ ናይ ትራንዚሽናል ጎቨርንመንት ምባል እዩ ምጥያሽ ዝግበር ዘሎ ጉያ እዩ እዚ ናይ ትራንዚሽናል ጎቨርንመንት ዝርኡ ሰባት ዘጣይሹ ዘለዉ ሰባት 9 ሰባት ከም ተመረፁ ርኢና ኣለና ሎም 9 እዚኣቶም ግን መን ይመሪፅዎም እንመን እዮም ታወትዮም ዝብል ኣጀንዳ ብጣዕሚ ኣብ ትግራይ ጥራሕ ዘይኮነስ ወላ ኣብ ዳያስፖራ እውን ከም ዓብይ ኣጀንዳ ኮይኑ ዝዝረብ ዘሎ ኩነታት እዩ ንሪኦ ዘለና ሎም 9 ሰባት እዚኣቶም መን እዮም ሰለስተ ካብ ህዝባዊ ወያነ ሓርነት ትግራይ ሰለስተ ካብ ምክልኻል ሓይልታት ትግራይ TDF ማለት እዩ ሰለስተ ድማ ካብ ምሁራት ከም ዘለዎ ኢና ገሊፅና ሎም ሰለስተ ሰሚዕና ማለት እዩ ሎም ሰለስተ ሰባት እዚኣቶም ሓደ ክቡር ሓውና ኣያና ተጋዳላይ ጀነራል ታደሰ ወረደ እዩ ካልኣይ ዘሴም ሓውና ኣያና ጅግና ተጋዳላይ ተኽላይ ኣሸብር እዩ ሳልሳይ ሓውናን ጅግናን ተጋዳላይ ጉዕሽ ገብረ ጀነራል ጉዕሽ ገብረ እዩ እዚኣቶም ካብ ትግራይ ዲፌንስ ፎርስ ኮኑ ከለዉ كاب حوحتون دكتور حقوس كودفاي أيت أمانيل أسفا I think I don't know سالسايم من مخانة فلتكون كاب مهرانون بروفيسور صحيين مرس صحيين ممر ممر ولا خير عندي no ممر I'm sorry شو ما يحسكون زلهم بتعم مورانيوم بتعم ناي ريسيرشر سواتيوم جوزاتيوم جن زياتهم 9 سواتيوم لهم 9 سوات زياتهم من حزب تግራይ من بمنم حتى بن عينة تأسمو نحزب تግራይ حليفهم كويهم زبل امنت يبلنا نجر جن تግራዋይ حدا نخوون انتي يدلي انت عينة حدا قاتات له زبل نجر مرأي كدلي صبو نا اب تግራይ زلو خناتات تفولتوا مبزحتو ግዜ ትግራዋይ ኣብ ውሽጢ ዘሎ ፖለቲካዊ ኩነታትን ኤክስተርናል ኢንተርናል ዘሎ ሽግራት ምርኣይ ፈላሊኻ ምርኣይ ከድሊ እዩ መብዛሕትኡ ግዜ ትግራዋይ ብኤክስተርናል ሽግራት ተሳዒሩ ዶ ይፈልጥ እንድሕሪልና ተሳዒሩ ኣይፈልጥን በምንም ተኣምር እዩ መልሱ ኣብ ኢንተርናል ሽግራት ድማ ኣለዉ ኣብ ውሽጣዊ ኣብ ናይ ውሽጥኻ ሽግር ግን መብዛሕትኡ ግዜ ብውሽጡ ብናይ ባዕሉ ሽግራት እዩ ኩሉ ግዜ ዝወድቕ ካብ ቀደም ዋላ ካብ ሃይለ ስላሴ ዝነበሩ شرحتات اندحريهم تقراوين نبعلو نخوادا نخبأسن يوم غيرمو ولا قروا جزين تريناو ناي واحد مدخام ناي هاديك مدخام كان دي شجر فطيرو زمصه اب واحد ما اخلاي كوميتي زنبره فلالايات تفلطو يو قدميو زنبره كله مالتي حز دما منم اكو تنحي واحد سوليد كوينو يخيد اندهالو نري اندهالنا ነገር ግን واحد طرح زيكونه اب حزب تግራይ ዘሎ ኩነታት اب ዲያስፖራ ዘሎ ኩነታት ታይል ከም ግምጋም ከድሊ ናብነት بوحد ማለት እዩ أربعة ውድባት ኣለዋ አክቲቭሊ ብዛዕባ ትግራይ ብዛዕባ ብሄራዊ ፍላይ ድማ ብሄራዊ ሕቶ ህልም ዝበላ ብሄርተኛታት ኮይነን ዝንቀሳቀሳ ውድባት ኣለዋ ያተን ናብነት ውናት እንድሕሪልና ውድብ ናጽነት ትግራይ 10% ዝድግፎም ሰባት እንድሕርሃልዮም ዞም 10% እዚኣቶም ቀሊል ኢንስታቢሊቲ ወይም ድማ ዘይምርግጋዕ ኣየምፁን ኢልካ ክትገድፎም ትኽእል ዓይነት ውድብ ኣይኮነን 10% ኣሎ ንበሎ ባይቶናውን ከምኡ ሴም ቲንግ ካብ 10% ናይ ትግራይ ፖፑሌሽን ኣለዎ እንድሕሪልና ሳልሳይ ወያነ እውን ከምኡ 10% ደጋፍ ኣለዎ እንድሕሪልና ካብ ጠቕላላ ፖፑሌሽን ናይ ትግራይ ማለት እዩ ህዝቢ ትግራይ እዚኦም 10% 30% ይመፁ ኣለዎ ማለት እዩ ካሊእ እዚኦም ናይ ብልጽግና ዝድግፎ ሰብ የለን ኮምፕሊትሊ ኦፍ ኮርስ ግን ኣለዉ ዕሱባት ተጋሩ ማለት እዩ ያቶም እውን ቀሊል ኣይኮን ንህዝቢ ትግራይ ለዓላውነቱ ናይ ህዝቢ ትግራይ ድሌት ደልዮም ዋላ ይኹኑ ንህዝቢ ትግራይ ግን ተዓሲቦም ንህዝቢ ትግራይ ክጋፍዑ ዝኽእሉ ሽግር ዋላ እንዳሞተ መዓት ሽግር እንዳፈጠረ እንዳሃለዎ እውን ከምዚ ዓወት ገይሮም ዋላተን ኣለዋ ዝበሃላ ትካላት እንዳተደምስሳ ከለዋ ከም ዓወት ገይሮም ዝርድኡ ዝነበሩ ዕሱባት ተጋሩ ስምዒት ዘለዎም ተጋሩ እውን ነይሮም እዮም እዚኣቶም ወሲካ ማለት እዩ ዋላ 2% ይኹኑ 4% ይኹኑ ዓብይ ፓወር ወይም ድማ ሓይሊ ስለ ዘሎ ብድሕሪኦም ግን ዘምፅእዎ ዘይምርግጋዕን ቅልውላውን ኣብ ትግራይ ቀሊል ኣይኮነን ኢልካ ትገድፎ ነገር ኣይኮነን ስለዚ ኩሎም ጠቕላላ ካብ 4% እንድሕር ዳ ሂብካዮም ማለት እዩ ቀሊል ዝኾነ ሽግር ክፈጥሩ ይኽእሉን ኢልካ ትኒዕካ ትገድፎም ነገር ኣይኮነን ሕዚ it's not about like you know how to reach the mountain it's about how you climb to the mountain you to main ነገር ስለዚ of transition government to ዝግበር ዘሎ መረፃ ኩሎም ክሳተፍሉ ክንገብሮም ኢና ዘይኮነሲ ካብ መጀመሪኡ ከመይ ይኸይደሉ ኢልካ ክትስተኻኽሎ ዘለካ ስሙዝሊ ካብ መጀመሪኡ ስሙዝሊ እንድሕር ዘይኸይድ ኮይኑ دهارون سموس خووني خلني فتحوا خووني خلني الكاخت تخل نجارك بايزد خون بايزد يوميز بحال زلو سلازي نمنتاينا بايزد نخوني هذي ناي مكلا الحيلة تجراي ولا كم ناي منم وداوي ويم دمو ناي political party وصايو من تبلكا باك جراوندهم جن تايو الكان دحر بزح زرب زلو زربات تايو كاب دبرصينا عقب كاب دكتور دبرصينا عقب دوم دكتور دبرصين اب حوحت እንዳሃሎ ቴክኖክራት ነይሩ ናይ ቴክኒክ ሰብ ነይሩ በዓል ጀነራል ወድወረደ ግን ብጣዕሚ ማእኸላይ ኮሚቴ ብጣዕሚ ናይ ውድብ ናይ ሕወሓት ፖለቲካዊ ኩነታት ተጽቢቆም ዝፈልጡ ብዙሓት ሓላፍነታት ዝነበሮም ብዙሕ ግንባር ዝመርሑ ዝነበሩ ዓብይ ናይ ፖለቲካ ሓላፍነት ዝነበሮም ሰባት እዮም جنرال ود شبرهم كمو قعس جبركوا أفت تأسمو ولا تأسمو يكون بر دحار بتاعم جيجنا تجارلاي نعيب في لاي سبيشالي نايك أربعة مرحية زنا رسل زخون سلز فولتو أو ناي بوليتيكا تأسمو قدم قبل مور تأسمو ينيرو الكات أمطو ب تأسمو تزيكونه كلهم جن جاganو تجادلتي أمنيرهم نحوحات بتعمي تأسمي أمنيرهم حزب زحزلو وخناتات زي بفلايد ما فتاق قدم حزي عمي زغوروا مجلسي دارجا خلت اليوم سلسته دقاقي مم زاروا زلو توم نايت قام تودواتون تأم زلو زي أتوم زين إحنا حوحاتنا يلوم تزاري يوم لذي بايز ديوم لذي إنفلونس اللومي سعنت اللومي زي أخا كاويت أخات تقل قلمبر نزيت فولتو نخالوت كتسات في تقل زبل سلامتات يخوني خل حق يخوني خل بزحتي قرب له سلذي نزي أتوم كم يجيرنا أنا أفويد نجورم زبل نجاري حق تحسب زلك هذي مرقق أحمد سندر كوينو صبوا نجار حساك مت سندر كوينو already بوزو حساب كفيلنا أنا عندنا فريسة كنا زي مرقق عتلهم نزي تاينا هنجبر زلنا زي حساب قبلي of course أو زي مسيوم استزاروا من الدياسبورا مسيوم استزاروا نجار اللون تأميلهم كنزارين نسوت راح يكونن 4% أبصحنا لنا حزت تأسمو سوت راح يكون يكونن حزي أوش تعدي زخور من إسي بستفعل عليه شجرات زلوا بشعبية زسلتونو سويلهم بزح شجر فطر زخولو زي مرقق فطر زخولو من إسياتون يسلتنا اللي بحال بشعبية مالتي بلسقناهم كم عين التأسم تتقبري خير لذي all these تدماميرو بحالنان ناي مرز أقول داينا ندهريت زوري الكاري خادمة تاينيرو نمال يكال مفتاش كالي نابنت نزباوي أنا حرنا تجراي يهون إهادي يهون ما بزحتو يجزي مرز أخ جبر كله election board له observer سلو كوز أي موتسو CNN نيرو الجزيرة نيرو قلم تعطيل كاي حزي ما بزحتو يجزي 98% 9% 100% سعري يزبال لكن رؤي بقى تقام تندهلو مالتي تقام تندهلو زقام تندهلو زي دقف سب تندهلو كساب كندو برسنت يكام حزي أي سعر مالتي يكون تبي ألف كسعري تبي ألف سؤال كا ودياون overnight سؤال كا زقو حافي يكونن بسرون حزب تግራይ እውን ዘልዩ ዳበዩ ብዙሕ ደጋፍ ኣሎ ኩሉ ኣሎ ነገር ግን ክስዕር ከሎ ውንሲ ካብ 100% ሒዙ ዝስዕር مسعر كوي 52% ሒዝካ እውን ክትስዕር ትኽእል ኢኻ 100% እውን ሒዝካ ክትስዕር ትኽእል ኢኻ 100% ስዒረ ኢልካ ግን ኩሉ ሰብ ካብ ምግላል 52% حزب لك عاوز أمريكا زقبر ريبابليكان إن ديمقراط كل جزء حزي عبي فايتهم زقورو عبينا إلكشن جنزبهم سبين زقورو عبي بلاي برنامجات قدامهم ذكرهم زارو after all مالتي زو كل يتخرخيرهم تزاريهم قليلهم حنتي حزوا أجندة بزعبا العادي بزعبا دودي بزعبا صرحوا زدولي ناي إنشورانس كامبان أمن الحزي بريزيدنت باراك أوباما بتاعمي ستايز غورلو ناي وعلو اوباما كير زبل نحكي منا انشورانس فولي زخونه بروبوزال حيز سلاز قربي سلازي كوم دي عينت بروبوزال حيزهم كقرو خلو زخونه يكون عينت كفليكا خلو ياو مور تهزبي ناي تهزبي ديليت تردي خان تهزبي كمرصك بزخل منقدي دحر ممصايخا تهزبون بستفلي بنيشتي مالتي بنيشتي فلالاي كمرصك هتكبر كلها تخكلنيا ديبيت نيري الكا تزارب تخل تخكلنيا الكشن نيري الكا تزارب تخل كاوز أجن تقام عند هالو 100% سعر تبلد نحركونك واي نمتاي لامو إحداك 100% إحداك سعره كوي كرم مراد خب سلطان جن حموش عمتك هي جبرة 100% المرصة ودابة حموش عمت تناي تترمو خي ودا ماله زي ترمو خي تودا نعبة تلعب بنعبي تودي بنعبي وريدو طرح زي كونس تقلبي تطرح زي كونس نتي مين انجنز نبره زباوي انا حرن تግራይ ኢህአዴግ انجنز نبره نعو طرح زي كونس ناتو بيزون حزبنا مالتي حزب تግራይውን كتفو كعنو كيلوم مالتي ስለዚህ አናላይዝ ክንገብር ክንከለለና تزحش ነገር ክንፈጥር ክንከለለና حزب تنزحتታ ዘለዎ ሕቶታት ታይና ሓሙሽተ ነጥብታት ኣለዋ ተን ብጣዕሚ ኣገደስ ዝኾነ ኣብ ዳያስፖራ ፍላይ ድማ ክቡር ጀነራል ታደሰ ወረደ መጽዩ ኣብዚ ብዙም من أمريكان أتاد زغورنايو تايسمو مالتيو إنفيتيشن مزيو أو زهاو مجلس نيرو كفتهم لعل 300 زخون سب تساتفوا نيرو تنايزو مالتي لك ككلت سب كاو دابتات كاو كوميتيتات كلن زلوا محبرات تسيدولن مالتيو ككلت سب عبيت امباسادرات زلوو توكلت ناي منكس زلوو ناي مخته سرحو سبات زلوو كلهم تساتفوا مالتي فتا زوم او زي قربه حتوتات انتايو بتاع اجداس زخون حتون جنرال تادس وردن مسو زنور كوميتين زقرو حتوتات حدا ازي كتايش كله زودابه ازي كتايش كله من يتايشو لمنتاي كالوت ودابتات كالوت ناي تحبرت سب اكلات موران دياسبورا يكون طقوم تودبات زي تساتفو زبل نغري زي ندردا طقايم خوينو كمسرت كله كتايش كله ግልጽነት ዘይብሉ እንዳር ኮይኑ ታቢ ዝተጣየሽ እንዳር ኮይኑ ግልጽነት ኣብ ዘይብሉ ነገር ከመገርና ኢና እዚ ባይዝ ደኮነን ወይም ድማ ካብ ሕወሓት ጽግዕተኛነት ነፃ እዩ ኢልና ክንዛረብ ደንኽእል ዝብል ሕቶ ሓደ ከም ዓቢ ኣገዳሲ ሕቶ እዩ ተላዒሉ ተኻላይ ዝተሓተተ ሕቶ እስኻትኩም እንመን ኢኹም ቅድሚ ሕዙውን ናይ ህዝባውያን ሓርነት ትግራይ ተጋደልቲኦም ነይርኩም ሕዙውን ቅድም ክብልውን ከምዚ ዓይነት ጣይስምታት ገሊጽኩም ነይርኩም ሕዝኸ ካብኡ ወፃእ ወይም ድማ ሕወሓት ባይዝ ዘይገብረኩምን ኢልና ክንዛረብ ንኽእለሉ መንገዲ ታይሉ ዝብል ነገር ከም ካልኣይ ሕቶ ተላዒሉ ማለት እዩ ሳልሳይ ሕቶ ዝተላዓለ ንምንታይ ደቂ ኣንስትዮ ናይቲ ፖፑሌሽን 50% ሃለ ኣለዎን ጥራሕ ዘይኮነስ ኣብቲ ቃልሲ እውን ዓብዪ ምንቅስቃስ ዝገብራ ዝነበራ ስለ ዝኾና ንምንታይ ደቂ ኣንስትዮ ዘይብሉ ኢንክሉሲቭ ኣይኮነን ደቂ ኣንስትዮ ኣየሳትፈን ደቂ ኣንስትዮ ንክሳተፋ ወይም ሓንቲ ወይ ክልተ ይእትዋ ኣይኮንና ንብል ዘለና بدهم بفتقال سعبي سرح سرح سلز نمرة الصرح هذا نمرة سرح كوكل زخل دليجيت قبل زخل نتنا يدك أنو سرح أب تجري ديفنس فورس ون عبيت تاريخ سرح دك أنو سيلوا أبنى هزبوا أنا حرنا تجري كالسون بزح تاريخ سرح دك أنو ستين حزبون أبدأ سبورة عبي سرح سرح زلوا دك أنو سيلوا بزعبات تجري تحلي أن مالتيو سلزي نزي نمنتا إزاي ترى دك أنو سين نمنتا إزاي تساتفالو زبل نجار كم عبي حتى تلعيل مالتيو كالي كم عبي أقداس نحطه استلعله أب دياسبورا مالتي أب دياسبورا كم تفولتهم ناي دياسبورا أمباسادرات كوينهم صرح زنورو ثم أوزع الدزي توليدهم أو أمريكا توليدهم أو أستراليا توليدهم أو سعود عرب توليدهم أو جرمن أو سويدن أو كل عالم توليدهم أو كندا توليدهم تقرينيا قوام زراب زي فولت بزعف عدهم ليتنك أثرن بقر مالتي سنو ندهلو بسنو ماين واقع بماين واقع صحي يكون كله صحي سرعة من دا قدفو مكينهم حزام مكينهم ملاقيهم زخلي ناي سلامة وسلفتات تجري بكوفيد جزء كوفيد سلامة وسلف أبزي يفكروا الجزء مالتيو ماسكو غيرو نيوتو كيف فرحة زخلي كراود فترة زنارة معات فريوات عصو زنارة الميرات من كونغرسمان سيناتر زرار بزنارة أبوزح تويترات زحف زنارة بوزحت ديسكشنات فترة زنارة مزبوحات إنفلونشال سبات ذكر خروج زلوا تجارو دك تجارو كلي أنقى زلوهم نمنتاي بإنجليزية بتنساتهم زارو أنقى كنا زاروهم تزلوا خنا تاتكن قلص علم زي كبع نمنتاي نجلكتر كوينهم نمنتاي نقلهم لنا نمنتاي تزلوا خنا تات زين الزارو زين الزاتهم ساعتهم الزبل كم حدا عبي تلعيلو مالتي هذه زي to be honest بقلص النات مالتي جنرال تادس ورده بقلص النات يملسوه هنا زي تدالينا له صحف دالينا قالمنتاز مسأنا له نجار يكونن نجار جن هنا أموننا صبوس راح نسرح إينا نحسب زلنا هنا ناي منم ودابة تاسمية بلنان ناي تكريم كل غال حيلتاتنا سرح زلنا مسانا زلوا سواتون تموراتون منم عين تاسمية ولا من صبونا جار كنسرح صبونا شجر منقص نسرح هنا تحز قد سنا زلوا تناي فدرال منقسي زشجر منقص خويا قاومكم باجت ينسددني بلا الناس اللي زلوا باجت قلطيفنا زنا شجر منقص تقايمنا باجت ريليز غبروا له خناتاتنا نغواي زلنا ስለዚህ ክተኣምኑና ኢና ندلي ዝብል ዘርባ ኣሚጡ ማለት እዩ ካብ ውሽጡ ብግልጽነት በዋህነት ተዛረው ዘርባ ማለት እዩ እዚኣ ኢሉ ተዛሪው ንሱ ጥራሕ ዘይኮነ ግን ድሕርዳ ኣነስ ሓደ ግዜ ኢሉ ማለት እዩ ኣነስ ሓደ ግዜ ይሕስበኒ ነኖ ዓላቶም ይባኣሱ ኢሎም ድዮም ባዕልኩም ጎርዎ ዝወለና ኢሎም ሲሓስብ ምክንያቱም ከምዚ ዓይነት ነኖ ዓልና ከጋጭወና ዝኽእል እዩ ገለመንታት ኢለስ ኣይሓስቦን ነበርኩ ከጋጭወና እውን የብሉን እዚ ዓብይ ሽግር ይዘለና እዚታት كحسبنا يقولون تنا شجر منقص تبيلنا أتنا شجر منقص تريقوا إخهم نسوف تحاول خووني عينت أمال على سائم اللي سنا ኦፍ ኮርስ ንሱ ብየዋህነት ብግልጽነት ሂወቱ ዝህብ ዘሎ ሰብ እዩ ካብ ትግራይ ንዓቐብ ሕዚ ኣነ ካብኡ ንዓቐብ ኣነ ውዚ ኮይነ ሂወቱ ዝህብ ዘሎ ተጋዳላይ ሂወቱ ዝህብ ዘሎ ዝመርሕን ዝዋጋእን ዘዋግእን ዘሎ ካባይ ንዓቐብ ትግራይ ኣነ ይሓስበላ ኢኻ ካብኡ ንዓቐብ ክብል ኣይክእልኒ ግን ትዋና ነገር እንታይ እዩ ክብል ዝኽእል ትዝብሎ ዘሎ ንሱ ማለት እዩ እስኻ ከምኡ ክትብል ትኽእል ኢኻ ግን እቶም ካልኦት ውዳባታት እቶም ካልኦት ዝበሃሉ ዘለዉ ኩሉ ንምንታይ እንድሕር ዳ ሽዑ ፅቡቕ ነገር ክገብር እየ ትብል ኮንካ ካብ ሕዚኡ ዳኣ ዘይስጅምሮ ፅቡቕ ምግባር እዩ ዝበሃል ዘሎ ኣብቲ ዝምረጥ ዘሎ ሰባት ኣብቶም ኦብዘርቨርስ ኣብቶም መማረፅቲ ኮሚቴ ዝበሃሉ ዘለዉ ሰባት ኣብ ኩሉ ኢንክሉሲቭ ክኸውን ዘይከኣለ ንምንታይ ግልፂ ዝኾነ ኣኼባ ዘይግበር ንምንታይ ኩሉ ሰብ ንትግራይ ዝሓስብ እንዲ ዘሎ ክሓስብ ዘይትገብርዎ ንምንታይ ናይ ዲያስፖራ ዘይሳተፍሉ ንምንታይ ዝብል ነገር እዩ ተላዒሉና እዚ ሆፕፉሊ ክንሪኦ ኢና ክንሓስበሉ ኢና ኮንሲደር ክንገብሮ ኢና ኢሉ ጀነራል ታደሰ ወረደ እውን ገሊጹሉ ኣሎ ጀነራል ተኽላይ ወልደሸብር እውን ገሊፅዎ ማለት እዩ እና ኣብዚ ኩነታት እዚ ብዛዕባ እዚ ንዛረበሉ ዘለና ጉዳይ ብዛዕባ ትግራይ ኣገዳሲ ነገር እዩ እዚ ብዙሓት ፀላእታት ብፍላይ ድማ ኣብ ትዊተር ንሪኦ ዘለና ህወሓት ዲለይ ይገብረሉ የዘናግዖ ኣሎ ናይ ፌደራል መንግስቲ ባጀት ንኸይልእኽ ህወሓት ኣብ ዝገበሮ ዕፁ ኣኼባታት ልዕሊ 50% ንኽረክብ ኣብ ዝገብሮ ዘሎ ፃዕሪ የዘናግዖ ዘሎ ህወሓት እዩ ዝብል መፀለምታታት እውን ኦልሬዲ ብትዊተር ተጀሚሩ ብዙሕ ነገር ይግበር ኣሎ ስለዚ ትትገብሮ ዜሮ ዜሮ ንዓኻ መውቅዒኻ ክኸውን ስለ ዝኽእል ብዝተኻእለ መጠን ግልፅነት ዘለዎን ኩሉ ሰብ ዘሳትፍን ክኸውን ምግባር ፅቡቅ እዩ ንኣብነት ሕዚ ካብ ህወሓት 4-5 ሰባት እንድሕር ኣትዮም ተመሪፆም ኢልና ካብተን ውድብታት ሓደ ይእተው እንድሕር ኢልና ምናልባት ሕዚ ንኣብነት 3 እንድሕር ኢልና ካብ ኩለን ውድባት እውን ሓደ ሰብ እንድሕር ኢልና እቲአን 4 ውድባት ንህወሓት ንኸጥፋእ ክብላ ዝዓበየ ድምፂ ኣብ ዘሴም ተኣይስሙ ክኾና ይኽእላ እየን ግን ምናልባት ናይ ገዛእ ፓርቲ ናይ ህወሓት ፓርቲ ድምፂ ብዝበለፀ ናይ ሰባት በዝሒ ጌርካ ማለት እዩ ኣብነት እንድሕር ዳ 11 ሰባት እንድሕር ኮይኖም ጠቕላላ ዝድለዩ 5 ካብ ህወሓት ክትገብር ትኽእል ኢኻ 5 ካብ ህወሓት ጌርካ ካብተን ውድባት እውን 4 ውድባት እንድሕር ሃልየን ሓደ ሰብ 4 ክትገብር ትኽእል ኢኻ ኣትሊስት ግን ኢንክሉሲቭ ክኸውን ኣሎ ሰዓር ምስ ዓረ ይኮነን ዘከራኽረና ዘሎ ክሰዓር ይከኣል እዩ ክትስዕር ከለኻ ግን 100% ሒዝካ ካብ እትስዕር 52% 60% ሒዝካ ተትስዕር ፅቡቅ እዩ ኔት ነገር ምክንያቱም ሓደ ፖለቲካዊ ተቐባልነት እውን ይልዎ ብዓለም ደረጃ ካልኣይ ኣብ ውሽጢ ዘይምርግጋዕ ንኸይመፅእ ይከላኸል ሳልሳይ ዝግበር ኩሉ ኣማራፂ ሓሳብ ዘለዎም ሰባት እውን ኣማራፂ ሓሳብ ሒዞም ክቐርቡ ዝግበር ዘለውን ኦብዘርቭ ክገብሩ ክከታተሉ ዓዶም ከም ዓዶም ናትና እያ ኢሎም እውን ክሳተፉ ሞር ኣክቲቭሊ ክሳተፉ ይገብሮም ማለት እዩ ስለዚ ካብ ናብ ፅልእ ዝወስደካ ናብ ሞር ፍቕሪን ናብ ሞር ሕውነትን ይገብረካ ማለት እዩ እቶም ዝሕወሱ ዘለዉ ሰባት እውን እኮ እንድሕር ዳ ብኮንሰንሰስ ናብ ድምፂ እውን እኮ ዘኽይድ ነገር የብሉን ብዛዕባ ናይ ትግራይ ድሌት ናይ ትግራይ ባህጊ ዘማልእ ነገር እንድሕር ኮይኑ ኩላኻ ተዛቲኻ ኩላኻ ተዛሪብካ ትገብረሉ ነገር ክኸውን ይኽእል እዩ ማለት እዩ ስለዚ እዚ ብጣዕሚ ኣገዳሲ ዝኾነ ኣጀንዳ ዝቐነየ እዩ ነይሩ ሆፕፉሊ ክቡር ጀነራል ታደሰ ወረደ ምስ ብፆቱ ኮይኑ ተዛትዩ ንህዝቢ ትግራይ ንዲያስፖራ ትግራይ እውን እፎየ ዘብል ነገር ከምፅእ ይኽእል ኢልና ንሓስብ ኣብዚ ጉዳይ እዚ ብዙሓት ጂኤስቲኤስ ማለት ናይ ግሎባል ስኮላርስ ናይ ምሁራን ውዳበ ኣብዚ ኣብ ዓለም ዘሎ ማለት እዩ ብግልፂ እቶም ስቴክ ሆልደርስ ክሳተፉ ክኽእሉ ኣለዎም ዝብል ፕሬስ ሪሊዝ ኣውፅኦም እዮም ኣታድ ኣሜሪካ እውን ፕሬስ ሪሊዝ ፅባሕ ድሕሪ ፅባሕ ከውፅእ ኢሉ ክስታይ ገይሩ ኣሎ ኤስጂቲኢ ሴኩሪቲ ኤንድ ጀስቲስ ፎር ትግራይንስ እውን 3 ፔጅ ኣውፅኡ ኣሎ ትግራይ ግሎባል ኣድቮካሲ ግሩፕ እውን ከምኡ ስቲል ስምረት እውን ከምኡ ማለት እዩ ብዙሓት መግለፅታት እንዳሃቡ በብሚድኡ ክስታይ ይገብሩ ኣለዉ ናይ ኣውሮፓን ሕብረት ናይ ተጋሩ ኣውሮፓን ሕብረት እውን መግለፂ ኣውፅኡ ተዛሪቡ ኣሎ ማለት እዩ እና ኩሎም ዝብልዎ ዘለዉ እንታይ እዩ ኣሳታፊ ክኸውን ኣሎ ካብ ሕዚ ክጅምር ኣሎ ዝብል ሓሳባት ኢና ንሰምዕ ዘለና እና ሆፕፉሊ ዘይምርግጋዕ ንኸይህሉ እዚ ነገር እዚ ካብ ብሕዚኡ ሓሲብናሉ ካብ ብሕዚኡ እውን ሰብ ተረጋጊዑ ናብ ፅቡቕ ነገር ክንከይድ ኩሉ ሰብ ትግራዋይ ከም ትግራዋይነቱ ሓለፋ ዘለዎ ትግራዋይነት የብሉን ኩሉ ትግራዋይ ትኽክል እዩ ወይም ድማ ንትግራይ ሓስብ እዩ ማለት ኣይኮነን ነገር ግን ብዝተኻለ መጠን ኣብዚ أبزبنا أبتكالنا كنحسب كنكللنا بسرون بزعب 48 عامات كتحسب كلهاكو انتهي صبو تغير انتهي حماق تغير كنحسب كنكللنا خبط فاتنا ممكن نمار كنكللنا تاينا غيرنا تاينا زي غيرنا ممكن نحسب كنكللنا نمتاينا بز درجه زودي انا ممكن نحسب كنكللنا اسرائيلاويان تايم غيرهم 48 عامات 4 عامات ب 30 عامات اسرائيلاويان تغيرهم عبيتي نق زي يبل تكالات يوم اول قسبات امنتي يولهم ابتكالات امنت لهم بتاع حياه زخونه سيكوريتي موساد زبحال او عالم انفلونس خفطر زخلنا سيكوريتي ما اخر كفيتهم يوم حقومون تفتحونتهم نولقه سبات جنرالات طرح زيكونس نتقلاي منستر ونغوتيتهم صيو زحنق زحتت نحقي العلاونت زلو سرعات مسريتهم يوم كلهم بزعبا ولقه سبات زيكونس ناي بعلاتهم ايغو ناي بعلاتهم اننت قديفهم بزعبا عدوم بزعبا اسرائيل كحاسولو زخولو نغرات فطيرهم يوم زخونه عينت شجر كفطر كلو كاسي او سيو انتل ابيف يوم زولو هناون أول سيوين مقالة كنولك نكللنا بزعبا مقالة بزعبا تجراي بزعبا عدنا ما أخل غيرنا حنزاتن كنزارون كنكللنا مالتي سلازي أبزو قدايزي أقداس زخونة important زخونة نجار حزنا كنزاته بزعبا عدنا كل سب لاي نريد لنا هزباويان حارنا تجراي بعل كم زخبر كله هم يقدموا 5 خبر زلوا حوحات جن تزخبرا زلو يم دما ولقسب يكونن كستاي زغبرلا زلو مولو دا ناي حزب تግራይ بعل كم تكون زرينا مالتي سلازي ز غدايزي حوحات كنخبر كلنا حوحات بعلنا 48 عامات بعل كنخبر كلنا حوحات مالت انتايا إلا نحسن كلنا حوحات ما نمسب دعوة حوحات زي موتلو حوحات سرح زي سرحه زي قوسله حاو اديو غلملتا زي غبره ነገር የለም አብዝ ህዝዋን ግን ሆሆን ብለሉ ንጭፍረሉ ገለመልታት ብዛዕ ጊዜ ዲዩስ ወይስ እንዛት የሉ አገደስ ዝኾኑ አጀንዳታት ናይ ዓድና አገደስ ዝኾኑ ኢምፖርታንት ዝኾኑ ነጥብታት ልዕልና እንዛት የሉ መፍትሕንም ጸሉ ከመገርና ንቀጻሊ ክሳብ ሕዚ ታይውዲቁና ካብ ሕዚ ንከይኸን ታይ ንቀጻሊ ከኺደና ዝብል ነገር نزات يلو مدرك نفتر كنكللنا توم بأنا استسووا أنا بجانا يلوم أكلم استوقف أقول سوات النيو تقارلت له تقارل له نزياتهم كم يجرنا نحزهم نحليلهم إلنا نبل لنا I think we're going to continue a little bit in English with مس ديفندس نيشتينا انجليزኛ ፕሮግራም ክንቅጽልና ታናይ ትግርኛ ፕሮግራም ግን ንፍርቅ ሰዓት የሐስበያ መጽእ ነይረ እና ተጥጽል ዘላ ፍርቅ ሰዓት ድማ በእንግሊዝኛ ክንቅጽለላ ኢና ባይ ዘ ወይ ዝባውያን ሓርነት ትግራይ መኹርዕ እዩ ብዙሕ ጀግንነት ተሰሪሑ እዩ ብዙሓት ጀግንነት ዝሰርሑ ተጋደልቲ ሕዝውን ኣለዉ ተሕዝ ዝግበር ዘሎ መራርሓውን ኣያታትና እውን ግንባሮም እዮም ተሰዊኦም እዮም ንሱ ድዩ ግን ይንሕዚ هذه مسفين انجينيرينج صراح قال سكيور ندحر زي تقبرهونكا ندحر نوع كحلو زخيل حبرتسب زي تهنص كونكا نوع كحلو زخيل ماتريال ندحر زي بالكا سنو لبونا ندحر زي بالكا تاها تقبر تخيل لي سلازي كل سبب بزعبا تግራይ كحسب تግራይና ተያይሉ خبل ናይ ሕወሓት አባላት ጥራሕ ዘይኮኑ ትግራይ ክትኮን ትኽእልሲ ብሙሉእ ትግራዋይ ትግራይና ተያይሉ ከም እስራኤል ክንኮውን ክንሞክረለና ዝብል እምነት ዘለኒ እና ታናይ ትግርኛ ፕሮግራም ብሬክ ንወስድና ሕዚ ድሕሪ ሓደ ደቂቃ ድማ ብእንግሊዝኛ ክመለሰኩም እየ ቴንክ ዩ
Okay, guess who's back in the house? It's your boy.
Defenders. Welcome.
How you doing,
So
E?
did you really want to know about what I've been saying?
Bro, it was like Chinese to me.
in the last half an hour, I was like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, this joker here, he was like, hey, Defenders, we're going to talk the first portion of the show we're going to do in Tigrinya. And I'm looking at him like, as he was talking, I was like, okay, buddy, I don't speak Tigrinya, so I don't know what you're going to do.
I don't want to be around you, right?
I don't know what you're going to do, but I tell you what, how about we do this here, right? How about you do the first half hour of the show, and, you can talk Tigrinya and all that and the stuff. I'll just be behind the scene, producing. I'm like, man, I'm not getting up there just for 30 minutes. I don't think I've been doing like this.
Trust me, I'm going to teach you Tigrinya one by one.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen? I do not believe this because he has yet to take me to the Ethiopian restaurant in Seattle that he's talking about he's going to do. Yes, brother, I'm going to take you. That hasn't happened. And what? This is...
Don't expose me, man.
This is February, right? So how long we been doing the show? And it still hasn't happened. It still hasn't happened. So,
Of course, the weather. Look at the weather.
Now it's the weather. Now it's the weather. Now it's the weather. You're going to be in... It's not like we're going to be sitting outside, right? You're not going to be sitting outside. We're sitting inside the restaurant, right?
It's not inviting to drive. It's not inviting to go to Seattle in this weather. It's
you know what that means?
Rain,
You know what that means? He's playing the world's smallest violin. I'm not hearing it.
I don't even know what kind of food you're going to like, from me. You don't like spicy, I know that. Most of our food is spicy.
But I'm quite sure you have some mild, though, right?
Mild,
Yeah.
Then I have to order that ahead of time.
Yeah. What? They got to have something.
I have to order special order ahead of time.
My mother, she loves spicy food. Right. And she was like, oh, I thought you... I said, no, you never cook spicy food for me. I said, you always had that for yourself, not for me.
It was an honor to meet your mother last time at church.
You met her?
Yeah, I met her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was passing through with your wife, and I said hi to her.
Okay, yeah. She's a little spoiled. She's a little brat. Yeah. But anyway, man, how you doing, brother?
So, doing great, man. Comparatively, the peaceful is still going on. And not all of them are out of Tigray yet. The Eritrean troops and Amhara troops and all that, but they are still around at the borders area. But most of them are going out.
Let me ask you this, E. I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. I'm sorry.
No.
But you're plugged into the what's happening and all that good stuff. Could you tell me a little about the three political parties that invalidated the old regime? Mm-hmm. Could you talk about that? Do you know what's going on with that?
Right now, what's going on is the federal government and the Tigray People Liberation Front, TPLF, have agreed in Pretoria. Mm-hmm. They wanted to have the interim government because the previous election was invalid already. And the federal government is telling them that, okay, let's go ahead and then create a committee for the transitional government, so that way you can discuss. And then anyways, the federal government, Abiy Ahmed, will approve it at the end. But right now they need to, we have more than 3 opposition parties in Tigray. And the main leader party or the governing party is TPLF, Tigray People Liberation Front. Mm-hmm. So,
is that the biggest?
The biggest party.
Okay.
And they have a lot of supporters behind it. And the Tigray Defense Force, most of the Tigray Defense Force leaders were with TPLF in the past. Mm-hmm. They were most of them at the command center, Politburo and Central Command, Central Committees. They had a big power with the Tigray People Liberation Front. So those opposition party right now, they are saying is they have already, TPLF had a close discussion within its own supporters and Tigray People Defense Force and others, and then they have elected 9 people as a committee. I wouldn't say elected, but assigned 9 people, so they can lead the transition, the interim government, mm-hmm. The interim government. So the opposition party are right now, they are not happy. Why they are not happy? Because they have said that we're supposed to invite it, when you are assign those people, so that way we can have maybe 1 or 2 people from us too. So that way it's not about reaching the mountain, but climbing the mountain is the main thing. We have to be part of the process before we even hear, oh, TPLF is winning, or the transition government is the committee, 9 committee. Who are they? 3 of them are from Tigray Defense Force. 3 of them are from TPLF. So what they are saying is those TDF, those 3 people from Tigray Defense Force are already TPLF. They are calling them TPLF because they were part of TPLF in the past. Okay. Even though they are not totally they are not TPLF, to be honest with you. Right now they are Tigray Defense Force. They were retired, most of them. They were in the Ministry of Defense. They are soldiers, even though they were they had background, even though they can be biased from TPLF or something. We don't know. TPLF had some kind of, it was divided in the past too. So we don't know if they are with TPLF idea or with those who are divided from TPLF. So we're not really exactly sure if those 3 Tigray Defense Force representatives are, supporters of or a fan of TPLF. But anyways, it didn't have no transparency. It wasn't transparent. So it's not transparent. 3 of them are TDF, 3 of them are from TPLF, 6 are from TPLF, they said. And even those 3 from the intellectual are not elected by the intellectuals, but they were selected by TPLF.
Okay.
So all those 9 people are so that's the accusation it's coming from. It's not only from the opposition party it's coming, but it's coming from global scholars. There are global scholars, GSTS, from security, just from Tigrayans, from ATAD, from diaspora, some meetings, all those. Not only having from the opposition party, but also no woman was showing on that committee. So we have a lot of soldiers. They've been fighting as a diaspora force, as the Tigray Defense Force, as a leaders, that. And we have small tribes in Tigray, which is Kunama and Europe.
Okay.
And those are not even included. So they are saying is we have to include it from those small tribes, Kunama and Europe. And also from Salsa Wayane is another opposition party. And TP is another opposition party, Tigray Independent Party. And the third one is Salsa Wayane is another party. So those opposition party and Baitona, those are they don't have no representative on that interim government committee. So this is the main issue that they are talking about right now.
Okay.
And I don't think, and most of them, as you can see from the Twitter, TPLF has been accused that they are delaying the process of the interim government. If the interim government is delayed, at the same time, the budget will be delayed also.
Okay.
The federal government is not releasing the budget.
And so I was going to ask you, how would that affect the people if all these delays continue? Mm-hmm. So does it affect the banking system?
Oh, yeah. It does affect everyone at this time.
Okay.
Because no one is the integration is part of the agreement. So most of the people who are working in the federal government, in the hospitals, in school area, school districts, other institutions there is no budget, there is no salary, there is nothing. So if the interim government is not functioning as soon as possible, then the budget is not releasing from Addis. So that will affect all individuals of Tigrayan professionals, scholars, lecturers, all of them. That will affect, like, the kids, the family and everything. So at this time, it's a big crisis, and I don't think we should waste a lot of time, like, to hold the power. We can always, like, everybody is affected by this war anyways. All Tigrayans are affected by this war anyways. So what I think, my recommendation is, I think they need to involve, like, maybe one or two people from each opposition parties.
Yeah.
And then they can just work together in consensus instead of, like, fighting each other.
Now, do you think they will work together? That's the $1 million question, though. Do you think they will work together for the good of the whole people, or will you think they?
You gotta help me on that. That's the thing, when you do something, sometimes you have to have like-minded people.
Yeah.
To work together. If you're not like-minded people, you cannot even sit and talk about one thing. Not but those can talk. Of course, they have to be matured. They have to be matured, and they have to think about the people who are dying, the people who are, like, suffering, and they have to work together. They have to work. Otherwise, if the Tigray People Liberation Front is, like, decided we can now. Well, there are some indications in the past. The Tigray president, Dr. Debrecen, in the past said that those kids, kind of like, those kids are not matured enough yet. For those opposition party, he called them, like, immature kind of talk in the past. So maybe that affects us. Maybe they think they are not, like, matured enough to think about, like, how to solve the issue and all that kind of stuff. So that's why maybe, like, when you see, like, people, like, undermined or
deliberately, kind of sabotage
right,
everything.
So I know about this country kind of thing. Just shut up. I mean, that's not the time right now. We have already lost
A lot.
800,000
Yeah.
people. We have already have more than 3 million displaced people.
Yeah.
So I don't think I don't think no one deserves any kind of political instability in Tigray at this time, because of, like, I have to work with you.
Yeah.
To live together, right? We are living together. We have the same issue. We are all in the same boat. So as long as you are in the same boat, you have the same issues, then you have to work. You have to work together. Yeah, it's messed.
You would think that okay, like you said, when I lost all these people, I might not agree with everything that you stand for, but I'm quite sure there's something that we can agree upon, right?
Right.
Here's a thought right here. Let's stop raping the women.
Exactly.
I think we can all agree on that, right?
Right.
Okay, let's just stop killing people just because they're not from your tribe or believe what you believe. I think we can agree on that.
Right.
So there got to be some common ground where all the opposition parties and leaders can come together and sit down and agree on something.
I agree with you. That's what we need to do. We have no any other option anyways.
Right.
You have no any option to fight. You have no any other time, or, like, it's not about, like, at this time, peace is not a luxury. I mean, like, sometimes we're not talking about luxury stuff right now. We are talking about the basic life, basic necessities.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the basic necessities that we need for our people, for our brothers, for our sisters, for our elderlies, for our infants. It's not like, talking. We have seen a lot of dramas and games already.
Right.
And that affects a lot of Tigrayans. And there's a lot of people that displaced. They are still looking for clean water, electricity, and food. and I don't think we should kill any single minute to discuss or to delay this interim government, because 1 minute takes one life this time. So, like delaying 2 days, it might take a lot of life.
Yeah.
So we need to work together. We have to work together. That's a must.
Another question for you.
Right.
What have you heard about the UN getting involved with the probe? You know anything about that? What's going on with that? The Ethiopian was warning the UN if the probe that they're trying to launch, it could undermine the efforts that's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is that part of the people coming together for this interim government? Think the UN is trying to sabotage this?
Right. I mean, there is a lot of things going on in Ethiopia right now. So far, we are talking about only the Tigray region. When you take the agenda to Ethiopia,
Mm-hmm.
then there is a lot of other agendas going on.
Okay.
Especially the priest, the religion, the Orthodox Church was almost divided into two, and that was a big crisis. We had a big demonstrations in Addis, and we were like fighting, and the government was like shooting people, like taking influential people to the jail. And the prime minister was trying to solve this issue between those priestess,
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of games going
Wow.
on. There's a lot of political instability right now, and I know who is creating these old dramas. Trying to sometimes the prime minister is making shaking the country, and then he's trying to be he creates the issue, he creates the problem.
They back
And
off
then he
like, what's
comes
going
in.
on?
Right.
I don't know what happened.
And then he thinks he has conflict PhD, right? Conflict resolution. That's his education. And instead of solving a conflict, to show the people that he has a conflict resolution PhD, he creates a problem, and then he comes, okay, what's going on? Let's just make it let's make it peaceful here.
But think about it, though, E. That's the perfect thing, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to stay in power, you create a conflict, you come in, resolve the conflict, and the people just like, well, maybe he's not as bad as we thought.
Right. Yeah.
So
I think that's the main agenda, what he's doing, but this is just childish. We are losing people.
Yeah.
We're losing life. He doesn't even care about that.
that's the thing right there.
Right.
And once you're in power, the only thing you care about is staying in power.
Talking about your power.
Yeah.
Like how to stay, how to
Yep.
prolong your,
Yep.
it's, if that's the case, that's what he's doing. And that's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And the whole, African leaders and everything, oh yeah, you did a good job. You solved this issue. I thought it was going to happen someday. Oh, no. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
I can solve this. I've got PhD on that.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But, to be honest with you, we need to pray. We need to understand what's really going on. And it was a big issue like a week ago. Now it seems calm and nice. Because, to be honest with you, I have never seen in Ethiopia that much of patrol, that much of a bulletproof military in the capital city last week.
Wow.
He had imported a lot of military equipment in Addis to protect his power. When the other government is like Meles Zenawi and the former prime minister was importing a lot of necessity for the country, like factories and investors and all that. This guy, what he does import is military equipment. It's from Turkey, from Ukraine, from Russia, from other countries, like, all he does is, I think, he see, like, different car and different bulletproof tanks, like, I don't know how you maybe know about them because you were in military, but you see, like, in the capital city, all those, like, like going, oh my goodness.
Well, because he knows that probably half the country hates him and will try to take him out if they could.
Right.
So once again, you're in power. You try to stay in power. Do you think that? Well, he's in power, so he can always rig the election.
I think he came like with a plan, to do all this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
to disturb everything, the previous government, like, he was a little bit paranoid too with the previous government, so they wanted to distract the whole structure, so to create his own. So the Ministry of Defense was like, built by EPRDF, by the previous party, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everything was shocking now. Nothing is like, the same as it was before. They were like, they used to resist, when something is like, atrocity going on, the previous military. But right now, most of them are like, captured by Tigray Defense Force. Most of them are like, retired. And some of them are like, injured and like, out of the system and all that. Unless otherwise they are the supporter of him. Most of the soldiers are now new.
Yeah.
So all they know is if he told them, like, kill, they shoot. That's it. And the only thing they know is about the military, what to do. Stand up, ready, and go and shoot. That's it they know. They don't know about they don't know about the politics, but they don't know about how to advocate the people. And how to do things, like, they just burn whatever they told them to burn. So this kind of thing is like, very concerns me. I really I don't want to see that kind of, like, narcissistic people do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The very narcissistic people, selfish people who thinks things like, for them only, not about the people, but the other, So I think, I don't know what's going to happen, but there is a lot of things going on back home right now.
Now, I think you were saying in Tigrayan that some of the troops are starting to leave the Tigrayan area now.
Yeah. Well, right now, because of the interim government process thing. Maybe some people are like, not happy at all. And those unhappy people can create instability.
Yeah.
They can go and join the Eritrean troops and come back and create, like, instability in Tigray. And some of the youth are like, going to capital cities, like, to Addis. So you will have, like, a brain drain from Tigray. Brain drain in a sense. Those intellectuals, they don't want to be around that if there is any political issues. And I don't want to live somewhere in, like, unstable, like there is a war or like demonstrations and fighting and all that. So people, what they do is they just leave, right? And then they can think, like, to live somewhere else and come back when everything is, like, calm down. So that affects the Tigrayans. Those intellectuals can go other places. They can be an immigrant. They can come here. They can go other places. So that affects Tigray actually. I don't want to see Tigray in that kind of situation.
Right.
So solving the issue now will solve the problem when the election starts, right? But from the beginning, if the problem is like, from the beginning, then people will, it's a trust kind of thing. You just have to trust each other. You just have to, there are some oath, people, they have like, okay, I will do this, the right thing for my country, for my religion and stuff. There is an oath, right? Everybody that needs that oath. to be, first of all, it needs to be inclusive. Second of all, they have to have that kind of procedure to serve the country equally for everyone.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be like, a big
Imbalance,
right?
Yeah. Wow.
So that's the thing. Yeah.
So, what do you want the people to know?
At this time, what I wanted to know, I don't want to see a delay because of the budget delay from the federal government because of our issue.
Mm-hmm.
So, all the stakeholders, the parties, and the diaspora, the women, and everything, they need to, like, I mean, it's hard for them. It's hard for me too to tell them, like, go to the meeting again, and then they cannot just grab one person or one person from there, one person from that, and you just have to evaluate and discuss and decide who is coming, who will be, like, the leader, who will be representative for that party, who will be representative from the woman, and that kind of stuff.
Now, hold up.
Right.
What did you say? Did you say the woman? What did you say, man?
From woman community. From
Say that one more time. Say that one more time, man.
I know I have a heavy accent.
It sounds like you're saying the woman committee, because when you kept saying that, I was like,
what is it?
Is he saying woman? I was like, because I was, earlier you were saying what I thought you were saying was, what I thought I heard was the woman, he needs somebody from the woman committee. I was like,
is this some kind of organization?
Yeah. It's like they got to have this segment here, just nothing but women, So what is it again? E?
Anyways, yeah.
What's the name of it?
WR
WR
MAN Woman Organization.
Okay. All right. I still think you said woman.
I'm trying to confuse you, okay?
But I hate to interrupt. But go ahead, finish up, my brother.
Right. Anyways, all the organizations, right? There are a lot of organizations in here. Like I said, GSTS. Like I said, it's GT. Like I said, the Alien Diaspora American Tigrayans.
Okay.
Like I said, there are TIP, like Tigray Independent Party. I have said that Baitona, which is it's a noun, I cannot change it, but Baitona is one of the organization too, the oppositional party. There is a Salsa organization. There is Arena. There's a lot of organizations. Those all organizations needs to be have their own representative.
Right.
Before we even start the interim government.
Right. Okay.
You clear now?
Yep. It's not the woman. But no.
Of course, yeah. Woman is also one part of that.
Yeah.
So that kind of not only the use, like I said earlier, I have said that women association, maybe women association or girls or use or
he's killing me now.
This is part of the fun, catching one thing and on another thing, making fun of me.
No, that's the thing. I don't want to make fun of it.
Right.
I just want to make sure I heard you correctly,
right.
Because your accent is very thick, and so I'm thinking he's saying something totally different.
I know sometimes you get lost, right?
I'm like,
all right.
Okay.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yep. I'm like, yep. Sure, buddy. Yeah. So,
anyways, all this needs to be done on time.
Right.
Unless otherwise, it will take some time, to get that the budget, to release the budget. The federal government, I don't think it's going to be an issue not really the budget. It shouldn't take that much, anyways. Like, it's been like 4 months now since they have agreed the peace agreement in Pretoria. So it shouldn't take that much. People are already suffering.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
So, okay, I tried to get him to wrap it up, and we got stuck on woman. But we'll be talking about, what will we be talking about next?
Oh, next? Yeah. I mean,
whatever the latest.
We just want to see about
what
this
the progress, how
right.
they come back
right.
from this here. So, hey, guys, don't forget to hit that like button, share, and support Cyber Power Tigray Media. And also get in touch with Ephraim and see how you can help what's going on in Ethiopia. Until next week, we're signing off. Do you have anything else to say, my friend?
Well, subscribe, share, and follow Cyber Power of Tigray Media. Thank you for watching.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Tigray تسعر.